Okay, children, now let us start with national income and related aggregates. Okay, so basically in this particular chapter, we will discuss about various terms, okay, which will help us to understand national income. Okay, so the first one, domestic product. Now, this domestic product is actually the money value of all the final goods and services produced by all the firms located within the national boundary of a country during a particular year. Okay, so that is the domestic product. And this domestic product, okay, when this domestic products are sold, as you saw already in the circular flow of income, that when these products, okay, both goods and services are now exchanged, okay, within the national boundary of a particular country, and by exchanging, when the income is generated, that is called domestic income. So basically, this domestic income is actually the summation of all the factor incomes that is generated by all the production units that is present in the domestic territory of a particular country. Okay. Now let me just show you about this particular picture. Okay. Now just focus in India only. Okay. Don't focus about this Nepal and USA for now. Okay. To understand the concept of domestic product and domestic income. Okay. Now this is our country, India. Okay. So let us assume that this is your country, India. Okay. So now in India, whatever the products are produced, okay, within the domestic territory or a national boundary, okay, whatever the goods and services are produced, that is called domestic product. But remember, only the final goods and services are considered out here. Okay. Now, whatever the income that is generated by all the production units, that is also called domestic income of a country. Okay, India. Now, it should be noted that in India, both national companies as well as international companies are here. Okay, and the foreign people also work here, like people from Nepal, people from Bangladesh, okay, people from Bhutan, okay, they come and work here. So whatever the income that is generated within the national boundary of a country, that is known as domestic income. Okay, because the name is only suggesting domestic, so you will stick to it. Okay, again I want to repeat one more time that domestic product is actually the value of all final goods and services produced by all the firms that is located within the national boundary of a country during a particular year. Okay, that is called domestic product. Okay, now domestic income. Domestic income is actually that income that is generated or earned by all the production units located within the domestic territory of a country, India. Okay, or any country, you can say. But for this understanding, okay, let us focus in India only because we live in India. Okay, so let us assume that India is our home country. Okay, to understand this concept. Okay, I hope you are now clear with this domestic product and domestic income. Okay, now let us go to national product and national income. Why, after understanding this domestic product, why we have to understand this national product and national income? Because as we already know that in India we have this foreign countries, foreign companies as well. Okay, the international companies. Okay, or MNCs you can say, or MNEs, and the labor from foreign countries are also out here. Okay, people from Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, okay, they come and work here. So to correct this part, okay, to correct about the this what do you say? Just to correct this phenomenon, okay, we have to refer to the national product and national income, because we already saw in the previous video where we talked about the national income. It is actually the national, the income that is generated by the normal residents, okay, because we have to talk about the normal residents out here, isn't it? So national product, what is national product now? It is defined as the value of all final goods and services produced by normal residents of a country during a year. Now, in this, we must understand this national income also, and national income is again the factor incomes earned by the normal residents of a country during a year. Okay. Now, again, come back to this particular picture, and at this time, let us understand about this USA as well as from Nepal also. Okay. Now, have a look at both US and Nepal. Okay, all these items. Okay, all three countries together. Okay. Now we already know that foreign companies are out here. Okay, like KFCs. Okay, McDonald's, then Pepsi, Coca-Cola. Okay, etc. So many foreign companies are out here. Okay, so in fact, KFC is not a company, by the way. Okay, KFC is just a brand of Yum Inc. something like that. Okay, that's a company. Anyway, so in India, we have the domestic companies like Dabur, Patanjali, Ramdev Baba. Okay, then we have this Maruti. Okay, then TVS. Okay, Jio, Airtel. Okay, Parle-G. All these companies are out here only. Okay, India. And these companies are actually the domestic companies or the domestic firms. Okay, but in India, we have other foreign companies as well. So we already know that from foreign countries like Nepal, for example, people come and work here. Okay, so in this particular picture, you can see this nicely, that whatever I have highlighted with this black is actually your domestic companies. Okay, whatever the goods and services are produced by the domestic companies. And with this red one, you can refer to the foreign companies. Okay, whatever they produce, whatever they produce goods and services, okay, produced by the foreign companies. So combined together, if it is inside the national boundary, it is called the domestic product, right? But to talk about this national product, we have to minus these items. Okay, we have to subtract all the products that are produced by the foreign companies within the national boundary of India and include those parts also. And what are these? Indian people go to foreign countries, say US, okay, UAE, they go and work out there and they send money back to India, isn't it? So these people are the normal residents who operate outside the national boundary of India. Okay, and there are some persons who are actually working in our country, but they belong to the foreign country like Nepal. Okay, so this is known as your FITA. Okay, FITA, FITA, factor income to abroad. Okay, I should have highlighted this part. Anyway, when I will send you this PDF, I will make some correction. Okay, so this is actually your FITA, because they earn money, Okay, they work in India, but they take back the income to their home country. Okay, just like the Indians who are in USA and working out there. Okay, so many countries are, Indian people. Okay, they are everywhere. You go to Netherlands, you go to this Germany, Hungary, okay, and this US, Australia, uh, England. You can find Indians everywhere. Okay, so yeah, some are NRIs. Okay, that's a different thing. Okay, we are not talking about NRI. Okay, the income of NRI will not be included out here, but only the normal residents. Remember. Okay, so when they go to foreign country and they work, this is known as FIFA. That's known as factor income from abroad. Okay, so if you now combine these items, then you will get the national product and national income. Okay, I hope you are uh, comfortable with this particular diagram and understanding. I believe you have understood what is domestic product, domestic income, national product, and national income. Okay, again I want to repeat, domestic product is very simple concept, but national product is a bit it's a it's a bit messy. Okay, because you have FIFA and FITA as well. Okay, now national income aggregates, the terms that you must know out here. Number one, GDP, which we talk about, which we are familiar with, which the non-economic students also, they hear this through news channels. Okay, GDP, gross domestic product. GNP, gross national product. Now this is about the national product. Okay, NDP, net domestic product. Okay, net national product. So each of these aggregates can be calculated either at MP, that is market price, or at factor cost. Okay, we will see in the next chapter. Okay, now some other concepts of national income: per capita income, GDP at current price, GDP at constant price, and price index. So what is per capita income? It's actually the average income of normal residents of a country in a particular year. It's very simple. Okay, it is very, very simple. National income divided by the population size, you will get per capita income. Okay, and this one, GDP at current price. So GDP, if it is calculated or expressed at market price prevailing in that particular year, is known as the GDP at current price. For example, GDP in the year 2020, but calculated of the year 2020 only. Whatever the prices that are prevailing in the market in the year 2020, okay, that will be the GDP at current price. But if GDP is calculated, calculated according to the base year, okay, or the base price, that is known as the GDP at constant price. Okay, thus you get the concept of nominal GDP and real GDP. Okay, so that nominal GDP and real GDP we will discuss afterwards, but let us just understand GDP at current price and GDP at constant price. It's very simple. Okay, now a price index. Price index is nothing but a number which measures the changes in prices between different years. Okay, it will help you to compare. Okay, it will help you to understand the changes. Okay, now GDP, that is national income and economic welfare. Okay, welfare. So economic welfare, it refers to material well-being of the people. Okay, so economic welfare means the total satisfaction or utility derived from the use of goods and services that are purchased for money. Okay, so that is your economic welfare. Now economic welfare, okay, we are not talking about the human welfare out here. We are just talking about the economic welfare. So in economic welfare, you can see out here housing, real income, job satisfaction, employment prospects, leisure time, environment. okay, happiness level, okay, life expectancy, education, cost of living, etc. So many things are there in this concept, okay, economic welfare. So GDP or the national income, it helps you to understand the position of your economic welfare in a particular country. Okay, it's very simple concept. So I don't want to elaborate this part. Now, how can we say that GDP is an index of economic welfare? Okay, so I have only highlighted two parts out here, that is availability of goods and services. So through GDP, we can say that whether the goods and services are available or not. If GDP of a country is nice, let us say like US, it's number one, isn't it? Number two, China. So GDP of America is very, very large. So the availability of goods and services is in abundance out there. Okay, but if say a GDP of a particular country like Bhutan, okay, GDP is very, very low. Okay, so yeah, there will be the scarcity of goods and services in that particular economy. Okay, and economic development. By economic development, we mean a continuous process. Okay, but the process, it can be basically it is about the qualitative development, okay, which is preceded by the economic growth. Okay, so in this regard, it should be made clear that real per capita income is a better index of economic welfare. Okay, now what is real per capita income? Okay, let me just give you one simple example. If your salary is 10,000 rupees and you have to spend, say, 8,000 rupees every month, okay? Now, this 2,000 rupees is your savings, right? But now your salary has increased and it is now 12,000 and the expenditure is remaining constant, 8,000 only. So now what is your saving now? Previously it was 2,000, now it will be 4,000, isn't it? But, and this example is the example of real per capita income. Okay, but if your salary was 10,000 and now it has been increased to 12,000 and your expenditure also has increased because of the inflation from 8,000 to 10,000. This is not called the increase in the real per capita income. Okay, so this real per capita income, if I will send you a video link. Okay, I have made this video previously. I will find and send you the video about this real per capita income and just per capita income, that is the nominal per capita income. Okay, so increase in real per capita income leads to an improvement in the living standard of the people as well as economic development. Okay, but remember, just talking about the human welfare, GDP is not the good index, because by saying GDP is very high, okay, we have the welfare in our country. No, it's not that, because in GDP the production of guns and ammunitions are also included. So if you produce huge amount of goods, guns and ammunitions only, and less amount of food products, and your GDP is very, very high, and you are saying that I have attained welfare in my country. No, it's not that. So GDP is an index of economic welfare. Okay, it's fine, but it is not the exact measurement for the welfare. Okay, it should be noted, that part. Okay, so because that's why there is other measure also to calculate the welfare in the country. Okay, but GDP is one of the index to measure the economic welfare. So GDP is not the ultimate thing, by the way. Okay, and in fact, GDP is not the national income, by the way, because national income is broader than the concept of GDP. Okay, but GDP is very, very important. Okay, so this national income and GDP, what are the things out there? Okay, we will discuss in the next video.